All right, we're going straight to these visuals coming in from that important meeting that is being held today. We were just telling you about the outreach of the BJP to Jaats just ahead of UP elections. We have the Home Minister today meeting UP's Jaat community, members of the Jaat community ahead of the crucial assembly elections. These are pictures coming in from that meeting. Home Minister Amit Shah is meeting Jaat leaders at BJP MP Parvesh Verma's residence in Delhi. This meeting is being held to discuss electoral equations with Jaat leaders. The meeting assumes importance ahead of the polls as the Jaats constitute 6 to 7% of entire UP's population, and when it comes to Western Uttar Pradesh, 17% of the electorate in Western UP comprises of Jaats. Parvesh Verma is getting us more details on that big story. She joins us from right outside Parvesh Verma's residence in the national capital. Parvesh, the significance of this meeting, given that they have been voting with the BJP and the BJP is looking at keeping them close to them, this community close to them, even in these elections.
But Sneha, we'll first show you the pictures from inside Mr. Parvesh Verma's residence. Sanjeev will pan, in fact, the camera to the dais right now, and you can see the crowd over here, the Jaat community crowd which is gathered over here. That's Mr. Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, who's being felicitated by members of the Jaat community. They are, in fact, felicitating him right now. And there's Sanjeev Balyan, Union Minister, who's obviously considered to be an extremely prominent Jaat leader from Western Uttar Pradesh. Parvesh Verma is present as well. So those are, of course, a plough, in fact, was gifted to Mr. Amit Shah, a symbolic, a gift from the farming community over here. This is a community which the BJP hopes to woo and bank again for the upcoming Uttar Pradesh elections. I'll ask Sanjeev to keep panning the camera to show the crowds that have gathered over here. In fact, they are going to be extremely crucial for the BJP and for securing their vote in the upcoming Uttar Pradesh elections, especially in the Western UP region, where Jaats have a complete stronghold in that region in 2014 and 2017 and 2019. In fact, the BJP, of course, secured their vote, but of course, going into these elections, they wanted to take no chances, especially coming off the back of the over 1 year long farmer agitation. Even after the centre and the BJP government has, of course, withdrawn the farm laws, the BJP, of course, is not leaving anything to chance. They want to ensure that this vote bank stays with them. Remember, after 2013, the Muzaffarnagar riots, there was a complete split in the Jaat versus Muslim vote in the region, and Jaats en masse had turned to the Bharatiya Janata Party and favoured the BJP in subsequent elections. But this time, of course, the SPRLD combine is hoping to secure their vote again and, in fact, ensure their victory, because it's going to be very crucial in the overall voting pattern across BJP, across Uttar Pradesh, especially because at a time that Western UP kickstarts the election, it is going to be extremely important. It's going to be extremely important because it sets the mood and the trend for the elections. And like I said, it becomes a huge chunk of votes as well going into these elections as well, because it is a very prominent region, Western Uttar Pradesh, and it is going to be extremely tricky for the BJP going into these elections. This is, of course, where the contest lies for the BJP. Purvanchal, of course, in the last few phases of the elections is going to be again very crucial. But this, in fact, Western Uttar Pradesh, which votes in the first few phases starting Feb 10th, is which actually kickstarts the election, sets the mood for the election, because, Sneha, as it is, when you sort of, the votes are cast in the first few phases, what trickles down, what spreads as to who's doing well, who isn't doing well, that again creates perception as to who is the stronger candidate going into these elections and has a subsequent impact in the other phases that are to follow. So Western UP is extremely crucial, and hence you can see this entire Jaat community, which is in fact gathered over here, and they have in fact gathered here to cast their ballot, and of course because they are associated with the Bharatiya Janata Party, many of them. So the BJP, of course, is ensuring that they stick with the BJP, and they, of course, in fact, help with the trends in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party going into these elections, which are considered to be a very close contest between the BJP and the SP-led opposition alliance in Uttar Pradesh. Sneha.
Paulmi, you mentioned that the last time around also Western UP voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party by and large. This time, get us the inside track of how they see this particular region, how how difficult a task is going to be to secure the votes in the Western UP region, given the kind of farmers' agitation that we've seen over the last 1 year, and also the manner in which the Samyukt Kisan Morcha is uniting against the BJP, especially in this region.
Well, Sneha, could I please ask you to repeat your question? It's the loudspeaker which is,
Yes, Paulmi, I was asking you that, this is going to be an uphill task for the BJP, the region, the Western UP region, which has voted for the party in the past. But this time things have changed given the manner in which the Samyukt Kisan Morcha is also running an organized campaign against the BJP, and there is disgruntlement on the farmers' front. Given the developments of the last 1 year when it came to the farmers' agitation against the farm laws.
That's right. In fact, in order to ensure and hence assure themselves of that vote from the Jaat community, which is of course largely the farming community of Uttar Pradesh, the Western Uttar Pradesh region, is why the BJP is in fact organizing this sort of meet and greet, if you may, with the Jaat community. The BJP is organizing this conversation with the Jaat community. Of course, this is not the first time that Mr. Amit Shah has engaged with the Jaat community ahead of an election. This happened prior to 2017 as well, and also as far as 2019 was concerned. Again, the BJP conducted an outreach program towards specifically the Jaat community. So they do realize that this is an extremely crucial community. If the BJP is able to secure their vote, it adds to the numbers going forward as well. And if this vote is split, because the RLD, which is considered to be the natural Jaat party in, of course, Western Uttar Pradesh, is trying to vote back the Jaat community. This was a community which, in fact, post the Muzaffarnagar riots, had even rejected Chaudhry Ajit Singh, Jain Singh's father, at that point of time, who was considered to be extremely prominent, a Jaat leader. He lost from the seat of Bagpat, and today, of course, Jain Chaudhry is trying to, in fact, connect with them again and, in fact, ensure and enlist their support for the SPRLD combined in Western Uttar Pradesh in going forward into these elections. So the challenge is immense, and it's not just because of this alliance, because there was an alliance previously as well. SP, BSP, Congress, they all got together to challenge the BJP in Western Uttar Pradesh, but their streak, as far as the last 3 elections are concerned, like I said, has been something they can, of course, write home about, especially with the Jaat community. But this time, again, it's not about the alliance. It's about the fact that, they are wondering if there is any sort of spillover of that farmers' agitation. Of course, the BJP feels that, with the centre having withdrawn the 3 farm laws and the Prime Minister himself having, expressed his remorse, having apologized to the farming community for not being able to, convince them about the benefits of these 3 farm laws, that is going to have a significant impact. It is unheard of when a Prime Minister has, in fact, apologized, has, in fact, withdrawn 3 laws when he's seen so much of resistance towards it. And that is the message that the BJP will be taking to the Jaat community,
yes,
which is, of course, predominantly a farming community, and telling them that the BJP hears you, the BJP listens to you, and that is what the BJP is trying to do with you right now, right here, is try to listen to you and engage in a conversation with you.
Paulmi, thanks for getting us up to speed with those developments. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for more on that.